What is up, guys? It is Team Yugi Fails here with another video, and of course, a deck profile. Who doesn't love my deck profiles? That's why you're all here anyways. We just recently passed 700 subscribers. I believe I said something about that in my last video. But we're like going even further than that. We're almost at 750. Like this is starting to take off pretty quick, which is fantastic. I've been paying attention to all the analytics too through the apps and whatnot, which is kind of neat. But today we have something that was requested. It was an updated variation of my Invoked Dogmatika Eldlich. This is honestly just what I'm thinking for what's going on in the format right now, so let's just hop into it. But before we do, make sure you guys go ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on, and smash the thumbs up button too, because it's always appreciated. But let's hop right into this. Alrighty, so main deck time. We'll start with that. For the monsters, of course, we are playing 3 Alistair the Invoker, because if you're playing Invoked, you should probably play 3 of them until he could possibly get hit. Who knows? I think it'll be Meltdown, though. I think Meltdown's going to get hit. Everyone get ready for that. Then we have 2 Golden Lords for the Eldlich engine. Don't need 3. 2 works perfectly fine. You don't want to draw it most of the time anyways, so it's perfectly fine that you just play 2. We have, for the Dogmatika engine, we have 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur-de-Lis, and 1 Maximus. I only play 1 of each. I don't think you need to play any more than that, because Nadir Servant literally does everything that you could want it to do, and more. So I think that, you know, with that being said, playing 1 copy of each is fine, because essentially searching 1 grabs you another. So it's pretty sweet. Then the only hand trap that we play is 3 Ash, because it's just generic. It's something that's good against most decks, if not all decks. So 3 Ash was a pretty basic choice. Then the last of the monsters, we have a Dark Magician or Red Eyes, and I'm just going to show you guys the Red Eyes fusion, because why not? Because we have to play it with this engine. So I think this is really cool. It definitely does a lot, which is nice. It's something that you can change around too if you don't like it, so test it out, see what you guys think. But I like playing the Dragoon engine. I just think it's important in this deck in particular. Then for the field spells, we have the 3 Meltdown and the 1 Terraforming, basically your 4th copy of Meltdown. This is obviously going to be integral to your strategy. You're going to want these cards in your opening hand, at least 1 of them anyways, so definitely got to play that. Then I play 2 Invocation. I don't think 3 is necessary, seeing you're going to be searching it so much and so often. I wouldn't even worry about playing a 3rd copy. Playing 2 is perfectly acceptable. Then for the searching here, for the Dogmatika cards, we have the triple Nadir Servant. Nadir Servant, obviously, being able to add cards back from the deck or graveyard is very important, so keep that in mind, because this card can also get hit with Ghost Bell, which kind of hurts. Then we have 3 copies of Cursed Eldland, which is our searching power for our Eldlich cards. Card's really, really good. I mean, there's not really much to say. It's just a fantastic card, being able to search and dump, which is always fantastic. Then for the last spell, we have 1 copy of Call by the Grave, because it's Called by the Grave. I don't think this needs much of an explanation. You know, being able to stop hand traps or just help yourself get ahead of your opponent in their graveyard advantage. That's kind of important too. And moving on to the traps, though, we have 3 Scarlet Sanguine. If anything, I think this card's going to get hit for the Eldlich engine. I don't think they'll do anything Golden Lord. They could put this card to 1. Keep that in mind. That's a possibility. I'm no huge ban list expert. I'm pretty good at guessing sometimes, but I'll say that in my opinion, that's the most likely to get hit. Then for our small guys, we have the triple Conquistador and 2 Hakero. This is also perfectly fine. There's no reason to play a 3rd of this. Obviously, you can't play more of that because you're already playing 3. But then all the other traps that Eldlich has are pretty bad, so you don't play any of those. Then we do play the 2 Dogmatika Punishment. This will come up quite a bit. The deck doesn't need the extra deck. It's just there as an extra source. Obviously, setting up your Invoke plays turn 1 is an extra deck play, but after that, you don't have a large amount to do. And we have 2 Ice Dragon's Prison, because this card's just the nuts. There's not really much else to say. This card's just really, really good. And the last card is 1 Shadal Schism, because this card is also very, very strong. Being able to set up a free Winda is pretty nice. But that's the main deck. Let's hop on over to the extra deck. All right, now we're going to take a look at our extra deck, and we're going to see just how fantastic the Invoked Eldlich Dogmatika strategy is from an extra deck perspective. So for the Invoked Fusions, I play 2 copies of Makaba, 1 copy of Purgatrio, and 1 copy of Algides. This is the only one that I can never really pronounce. For good reason, though, as you can tell. It's a very weirdly spelt name. But I think that having the option for a second Makaba is always important, so playing 2 is good. The Purgatrio comes up really with the Ash. That's really the only time it comes up, but because a lot of people are playing Ash, it does come up, which is fantastic. Then the Algides is just a great card overall. You just really get a large portion of your engine going by removal. You know, your field removal is very important in this deck, and having the Algides there to be able to set up that field disruption that you're going to need is obviously going to be very important. So this is a fantastic card for the popping purpose. It's just really strong, and it has a really large defense too. I almost left that out. Don't want to leave that out. I always think that high defenses are pretty important. Anything 2,500 and above for defense is an important card. Anyways, moving on to the Shadal package that we have the Construct, the App Clone, and the Winda. This is literally just here for like the Dogmatika into the Shadal Schism plays. There's not really much else to talk about. That's literally the only reason that I play the cards. Then we have some fusion stuff here. We have a Red Ice, a Darkness Dragoon, which we already knew I was playing because of showing you the main deck with the Dragoon package, and that of Red Ice Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Ice Black Dragon. So, of course, we have to have the Dragoon. Why wouldn't we? Then for some Dogmatika strategy stuff, we have an Entis and a Titaniclad. These are obviously very important when it comes to searching for other Dogmatika cards, and additionally getting another pop on field with the Entis. So both of these cards serve a very large purpose in the deck. And then we also have the Cyframe Lord Omega. This card is obviously important towards the Dogmatika strategy as well. Being able to recycle out a lot of those resources from your graveyard is actually very important for the strategy. So you'll probably want to play the Omega. And the only card that we play that's an Axis monster is actually 1 copy of Constellar Pleiades. It's in the instance that you get like a Hakero and a Conquistador on the field at the same time. You can go into a Pleiades and get another bounce, which is pretty cool. Then for the Link monsters, we only play 3. I play 1 Link Spider. This is for those, those stray Conquistadors or Hakeros that you need to get rid of to your engine. Going again, you just play the Link Spider to put him in the grave for yourself. And the other Link one, we do play an Artemis. This card is fantastic in Invoked. I really like this card, so definitely play it if you're not playing it already. Not really much else to say. It's only there as a fusion material target. And the last card is the Verte, which we knew was going to be there considering the Dragoon package being played. But that is the entirety of the extra deck. So let's hop on over to the side deck and take a look at our sideboard strategy. Alrighty, so we've gotten to the last portion of the video, which is going to be taking a look at the sideboard for our Invoked Dogmatika Eldlich deck. And I think that this is a pretty good sideboard per the meta. I think obviously it'll change with the release of a Lightning Overdrive, but not excessively. A lot of this is stuff that I would still play with the release of Lightning Overdrive. So the other hand trap that we do play would be the 3 copies of Drone Lockbird. Going forwards, obviously against Drytron, this is going to be pretty good. But it's just good against a lot of other decks too. It's really good against the Mirror. It's good against Zoo, like all that stuff. Just anything that searches or draws a lot, you can basically kind of slow it down with the Droll, which is awesome. Then we play 3 Dark Ruler No More because Forbidden Droplet isn't as good in this deck. Like, it can be, but like I'd rather just keep those cards in my hand and then get rid of them in other ways rather than doing the droplet to send cards from hand. Instead, I'd rather just shut the board off, clear my opponent's board, and then wait another turn to win the game. So I think that the Dark Ruler No Mores are very important. Then I have 2 copies of Lightning Storm and 1 Feather Duster. The Lightning Storms can come in against combo decks too, because you can just try and call monster, and if it baits negation, baits negation. Everything else is good from there. Then the Feather Duster's obviously a back row removal, which is pretty sweet. Then we have 3 copies of Evenly Matched for more back row in combo decks. You can just side in a bunch of like board removal cards against combo decks, and then they don't have enough negations usually, and you just overwhelm them, or they negate all of your cards that are trying to clear the board, and then you're able to actually establish a board after that. So it's kind of a win-win situation for you. And then the last card that we play in our side deck is 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. I think that this card is just really, really good going first, and knowing your opponent will probably see that you're playing Dogmatika, Eldlich, Variation. They're going to side in cards like Lightning Storm. So you're going to want to be able to stop those Lightning Storms and Harpy's Feather Dusters from coming down, and Solemn Judgment will definitely do that for you. So it's definitely worth picking up a play set and playing it for sure. But that basically brings the entirety of the deck profile to a close. It's a very simple, straightforward deck. Basically, you're just going to be going off into some link plays to start with the Alistair and probably like a Golden Lord, and then you'll be able to go into like a Verte, and then you can fusion for a Mechaba, and then you can use the Verte to make a Dragoon. So there's a lot of different things you can do. It's a very, very basic and straightforward deck though. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Obviously turn the notification bell on too, because that's very important. And then obviously give the video a thumbs up. And for right now, this is Team Yugi Fills signing out.